I'm Nick. Welcome to Steady Steps Music, the channel where we learn music one small, easy step at a time, and where every lesson is built on the one before it. I've been teaching for over 20 years, and one thing I hear from most people that want to learn music but don't know where to start is, I just don't think I'm talented enough, or I'm just not musical. Talent isn't necessarily something you're born with. It's something you can develop. You discover your musical abilities by playing songs that you enjoy, practicing things that challenge you, and learning to love the process. So, let's take some small, steady steps together. Stick around to the end of this video for your bonus chord today, which is C major. Once you have it, you'll have 3 chords in your vocabulary. Today, we're going to talk about the musical alphabet. Think about one of the first things you might have learned in elementary school. Probably numbers and the alphabet. You might even be able to hear the alphabet song in your head right now. The musical alphabet is much simpler than the real alphabet. We won't have to keep track of 26 letters. We only use 7. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then it goes right back around to A and starts over again. Why 7 letters, and why does it repeat? There's a concept in music called an octave. An octave is the same note, but higher. And the way that that is represented by music is the same letter occurring again, higher. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, I just played the note E. That's another E on the same string. You can hear the 2 notes sound like the same note, but one is just higher than the other. This string would even be the next octave up from that. You can think about it like 2 different shades of blue. If you saw sky blue and royal blue, you would somehow know that they're both blue, but one is darker and one is lighter. That's how octaves work. Same notes, but at different pitch levels. Those are all E's. They just sound different. Now the musical alphabet repeats, keeps going around and around, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because the notes just keep going up and up and up through octaves, going higher and higher or lower and lower. If you think back to our last lesson, I mentioned that the strings on your guitar have those letter names, E, A, D, G, B, E, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Those letters come from this musical alphabet. Each of those notes are named for a note in the alphabet. The letters in the musical alphabet are not all the same distance apart. Now, most of them have a distance called a whole step, but 2 of them are closer together and they have a half step. Let's talk about what this means in terms of your guitar so we can see it. Each fret on your guitar is 1 half step. 2 frets from here to here would be a whole step. Half step, whole step. So if you play a note on your first fret and then you go up 1 fret, play the next note, you've just gone up 1 half step in music. A whole step is 2 frets. That's a whole step. You can hear the difference in sound too. So now that you know about half steps and whole steps, what they look like on the guitar, and they sound a little different, let's see how they show up in the musical alphabet. Most of the letters are a whole step apart, 2 frets, except for 2 pairs, B to C and E and F. B to C, E to F. Everything else is a whole step. You can remember those 2 exceptions. You know the basic framework in your head to understand the distances in the musical alphabet. And this is how we're going to find notes all over the entire fretboard someday. Here's an easy mnemonic device. I'm going to put the word mnemonic on the screen to help you remember what it is. Here's an easy way of remembering where the half steps are. Think birthday cake, everyone's favorite. Now maybe you don't like cake. I personally love cake. Birthday cake, everyone's favorite. You can make up your own if you want, but birthday cake covers B and C, and then you just have to remember E and F. Birthday cake, everyone's favorite. Let's put this to use. I'm going to put a chart on the screen that shows the note names on the first 3 frets of your strings. Here's how you would figure this out yourself. Always start off by asking, where are the half steps? B to C, E to F. Once you know that, everything else is a whole step. Let's walk through it. Your low string, open, is the note E. So where's the F? Right on the first fret, because E to F is a half step, going up 1 fret. Your A string, open, is the note A. Where's B? 2nd fret, because A to B is a whole step, 2 frets. Now if you're on B and you were curious as to where C is, birthday cake, 1 more fret. Let's go on to the next string, D. Your D string open is D. 2nd fret, 2 frets up, whole step up is E. Next is G. Your G string open is G. 2nd fret is A. G to A is a whole step. The B string open is B. And your first fret here is C, because birthday cake is the half step, B to C. And your high string, E, open, is the note E. First fret would be F, everyone's favorite, E, F is a half step. Now, one thing worth pointing out is you have 2 E strings. You have a low E string and you have a high E string. They're the same letter name note, but they're 2 octaves apart, that distance in music where the same note happens again. If you play them together like that, you can hear that they sound the same in a certain way, but one is higher than the other. 2 octaves apart. Both E. Now, you don't have to memorize all this today. I just want you to start seeing the pattern, the half steps and the whole steps, so that over time, the fretboard starts to make sense rather than feeling like a bunch of random letters all over the place. All right, you made it. Time for your bonus chord. This is a good one, because after today, you have 3 chords in your vocabulary. G major, E minor, and now C major. These 3 chords go beautifully together, and you can already start playing some chord progressions with these 3 chords. Let's learn C major. Your ring finger will go on the 3rd fret of the A string. Middle finger goes on the 2nd fret of the D string. Index finger curls around, goes on the 1st fret of the B string. Your G string stays open and the high E string stays open. Now here's something new for this chord. For the first time, we're going to intentionally not play one of the strings. You want to avoid strumming the low E string, and the reason is because the lowest note in the chords that we're playing so far is the note that the chord's named after. So we want to make that lowest note a C for these beginner chords. If you accidentally hit the E string, it's going to change the sound of the chord, so let's just leave it out. So take your thumb right to the A, and there's C major. Give it a shot. C major. 3 fingers, just skip the low E, and you got it. That's it for today. Another small, manageable step in your musical journey. If you find this content helpful, please give this video a like down below, share it if you feel someone you know would enjoy it, and subscribe to the Steady Steps Music channel for more lessons just like this. If you'd like to grow your skills faster in a private lesson with me, head on over to steadystepsmusic.com to book a free introductory lesson. See you in the next one.